Welcome to Pop-Up Park. Hey, I am Kimisha Renee, and I'm a junior in the Film and Television Production Department at SEA. I am a director and screenwriter, and I'm interested in virtual production, entertainment business, and the intersection of technology with film, television, and games.
And my name is Jaden Kirshner, and I am a sophomore studying the business of cinematic arts with an interest in the fields of entertainment, business, and technology.
February 2020, my 8-year-old nephew Cam flew in to visit me for my birthday. We went to Universal Studios and Cam had the best time ever. He cannot wait to go back to see the Minions again. But due to distance and costs, I have not been able to take Cam back yet. This got me thinking, what if Cam could have a fun theme park experience on a more regular basis? And what if that experience could be even more convenient, affordable, and engaging? Introducing Pop-Up Park.
Instead of you having to travel long distances for a great theme park experience, we bring the theme park to you. Evolving technology will allow pop-up theme parks to be created into personalized and fun experiences that are expansive and affordable.
The experience begins even before the attendees arrive. We use a mix of data tracking and proprietary survey questions to extract all the information we need to personalize the experience for you. All the data collected will connect to a multi-use bracelet that will be used throughout the park. While you are there, the experience is completely individualized. We have custom rides where the characters know your name and there are costumes in your size. There is a mix of practical VR and AR games, themed dining experiences, and personalized merch. And we created an example of what this would look like using Guardians of the Galaxy.
The pop-up park experience continues even after you leave the park through our proprietary mobile app. The app tracks points and achievements from the games played at the park, hosts videos of users' faces on iconic characters using deepfake technology, and has a digital space for users to create social avatars and redeem rewards. We want to take advantage of the portability of this idea to set it up in a diverse range of communities around the world. Everything from international metropolitan cities like Las Vegas and Paris, to more under-resourced communities that may not be able to afford to travel long distances for conventional theme parks. We will also offer consumers both a subscription and a conventional ticket plan, but subscribers to Pop-Up Park get added VIP benefits.
Pop-Up Park is the first of its kind, a portable theme park that conveniently integrates the capabilities of technology with your IP. This is a crowd pleaser because it's affordable to attendees compared to traditional parks. People can play games with their favorite characters on emerging entertainment tech, and it is completely curated experience. Help us help you bring a pop-up park to a location near you. Thank you.
I like this a lot. I think you answered the thesis that Phil presented well. You started to look at the overall opportunity zone and tackle it. I'm curious from a standpoint of how you derive the monetizable benefit from what you're doing.
Jaden?
Yeah, so we think that there are actually various ways to monetize it. We discussed just from the theme park standpoint, there's the subscription model and then the normal ticketing plan. But then we also think there's merchandising opportunities within the apps and points, and a lot of this is gamifying the theme park experience to try and get people to come back. So having digital, sort of what Epic Games does with Fortnite, having these characters and having them get points to unlock rewards. There's monetization there. And then also more in the physical space where when you're at the park buying food, this customized merchandise, I think those are the main spaces we see the monetization.
And you can monetize in the real world and also in the metaverse as well.
Hi. Look, I mean, I love the direction you're taking this. I'm from Disney, so, this is definitely something that, that has been looked at. However, it seems to me it's a very, very short presentation, so obviously there's a lot more to it, but it seems to me from the presentation that you're trying to make the theme park experience more affordable and more accessible. But it seems to me like it would be incredibly expensive to do, right? Because essentially you're trying to get everything that we're doing at Disneyland right? And including the personalized experiences that we're starting to build into Disneyland, but you want to move Disneyland around to all these different places. So how is this going to be cheaper than going to Disneyland if it's going to cost Disneyland so much to bring it to you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I could start off maybe, Kimisha, because this is something we discuss. And I think what we thought about is the technology will allow it to be cheaper. So for Disneyland, you have all this infrastructure costs and building up all these roller coasters and rides. But for us, we're creating a theme park out of technology. So for instance, instead of Disney who has to build a roller coaster, which is really expensive, we can create a Guardians of the Galaxy VR ride or VR challenge, which is significantly cheaper. And we can bring that around, or like a Guardians of the Galaxy laser tag, which is again, way more significantly cheaper than a regular Disney infrastructure ride.
And
So
it,
we're using the
and
technology.
upfront, it will be an investment upfront, but I
Yeah.
think after it starts to gain traction, then you'll get your money back right away.
Thank you.
Yeah, this reminded me of sort of, you know, your name, it's in the name, pop-up park, it says what you are. I put a comment in the chat window about how if you were a theme vendor like Disney, you know, you could publish your theme park, you know, rides or experiences into sort of more defined spaces. Like think about a concrete tilt up, a standard shopping, you know, shop-sized space that was open. So you could reuse spaces in different people's local areas, like a local mall or you know, any place where you've got a space like that where you could you know, teleport those experiences to. Yeah, LBE's definitely, it's kind of a proven model at one level, and it fell away a bit with the pandemic, but you know, it's certainly back. Themed experiences and ways to scale those out are definitely a hot topic. So you're thinking about along the right vector here, I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
like-
I would say that there's a lot of opportunity for various types of commerce once you've done the
Right.
world building. So, so monetizing this is kind of something that is limitless, really, depending on who's involved. I think what is really challenging here is what your role would be ultimately. You know, as this gets going, if you were developers, where's the handoff to all these different commercial entities? It kind of looks to me like it would very quickly be something where you would have so many different commercial ideas that it would become a world in and of itself, much the way you were describing Fortnite. So I'm wondering if you would have you thought about this as a platform as such?
As a platform, can you describe what you mean by that?
So instead of thinking of it as a kind of in the way you would an application, it would be more that you're structuring it for other ideas to come into this world. And
I see what you're
people to
saying.
have an opportunity to create different kinds of commercial ventures within that world. And consequently, how would that be managed?
Yeah, I mean, we do encourage creativity and contribution to this kind of community. So you could take it anywhere. It's already translatable in films and games and television series. So it could be like a brand could partner with a film, and it can be an activation. Also with the merch store, we're going to be, you know, partnering and collabing with local vendors, and maybe like a Black-owned screen printing t-shirt company that Walt Disney can collab with, or you can do like personalized things like that. So it's always also thinking about the community that you're around as well, and being able to make an impact.
I think what I'm getting at is, do you think of this as an open source idea, or are you thinking of it as a walled garden?
I'm always open. It's always changing and evolving in the moment. So I'm definitely open to the possibilities of what it can be like and evolve into.
Yeah, and just to maybe like more open source or closed source, I think there are definitely parts that we would want ownership of. Maybe, for instance, going back to this Guardians of the Galaxy idea, if we do partner with Disney and we create this really great game, we would want ownership of that. But maybe some of the physical experience, like customized merch, that can be discussing with local vendors and feeding their ideas. So just a mix of maybe some of the more advanced tech, we would want ownership of some of the software and then also the hardware. But then we would be open to some open source ideas in other realms.
But it is important that it is going into the communities that we are around and being aware of that at the end of the day, location wise.
Yeah, in alignment with what Connie and Katie were saying, I think what I'm hearing Connie request or ask is, what is your product here in terms of the platform is you are providing basically a database storage infrastructure compute to places like Disney to put their games or their theme park experiences on. So I think just for full disclosure and transparency, I think you guys thinking about challenging Disney over IP is going to be really challenging. Good luck with that, especially around merchandising.
Right.
But in terms of creative ownership, but if you manage and control the platform or the technology that you present as a service to all of these different merchants that could consume this, that's your product. I really like the idea of gamifying something like Space Mountain that somebody might not be able to physically go to, or they want to go to and they get sick and they're like, oh, I just want to jump on a VR headset and take a ride on Pirates of the Caribbean. Then you take that same experience when they're actually physically in the park through recognition and say, hey, Marty, you're back again. This is the 15th time you've read Pirates of the Caribbean, and then you get some VI tree to gamified, or there's some other kind of tie in there with that experience between the virtual and the actual physical. So just food for thought from what I was kind of stitching between Katie and Connie's comments there.
Great, thank you.